Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is David Benjamin from HealthyWildandFree.com. Today I want to talk to you about aluminum, which is one of the most abundant minerals on planet Earth. Aluminum is a metal, a heavy metal, that is in many products in society. It's used in cooking products and food processing and packaging and all sorts of other products as well, even as far as down to deodorant. So aluminum is a toxic heavy metal, and there's been a lot of research done on aluminum, and multiple studies have found that aluminum, along with other heavy toxic metals, but aluminum specifically, is linked to Alzheimer's, it's linked to other neurodegenerative diseases. It's a endocrine suppressant, meaning it suppresses the endocrine system, causing hormonal imbalances, and it really just wreaks havoc on the body. Imagine something being in your body or something being in your bloodstream that isn't supposed to be there, that causes blockages or issues or all sorts of issues. So, but primarily it affects the brain, like I said, Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases, as well as hormone disruptors. So it's any hormones can be disrupted by heavy metal toxicity, and aluminum is definitely one of the culprits. So aluminum is in many different products in your house, things from pots and pans, cans like soda or things of that nature, silverware. It's like I said, it's in deodorant. It's actually in the deodorant, so you want to use an all-natural deodorant brand, because putting aluminum deodorant right into your armpits is one of the worst things you can do for getting aluminum into your body, because your armpits and your groin are two of the areas on your body where your skin absorbs up to 100% of what is applied to it. So you can put something on your arm or your shoulder, but if you put that same thing on your armpit or your groin, you're going to absorb a much higher percentage of what you apply in those areas. So you don't want to have a deodorant that has aluminum in it. Some people say that baking soda has aluminum in it. That's kind of unproven. I honestly don't know to answer that question, but there are, like I said, quite a few products in the home, cans, silverware, pots, pans, that have aluminum in them, and aspirin, vaccinations are other things. So I don't use aspirin, I don't vaccinate myself, I don't use any deodorants that have aluminum in them. I only use all natural deodorants. So as far as what you ingest, aspirin, vaccinations, and deodorant, you're ingesting all those things essentially. You want to avoid those and use natural alternatives. But then also when it comes to cooking or drinking or eating, you want to avoid things that contain those. So like I said, pots and pans, you can get stone-based ceramic cookware or stainless steel cookware. There are different alternatives that are more natural-based. Canned food, if you can avoid the canned food, if you can get the same food in bags, for example, like black beans is a great example. They come in cans, but you can also buy them. You can just buy the black beans or any other type of beans in bags. You're going to have to soak those beans, so it takes a little longer, but you're avoiding aluminum, and you're just causing, or hopefully not having as much of an environmental impact as well. Another thing, like I said, pots, pans, cans. One thing that's really important too, before I continue, pots and pans, you're cooking in those. So think about that, you're cooking, you're heating up those metals, and over time that aluminum is getting into your food, and then you're just ingesting it over time. So think about things that you're using that have even more of an impact. So pots and pans, I would say, are worse than cans. And then again, it depends how long the can's been sitting, but so it's preferable not to use any of it, but if you're heating up the aluminum, that's even worse. So another example is aluminum foil. Aluminum foil is extremely common. People use it to heat up foods or hold heat in, keep the food hot. Some people just throw it in the oven or whatever to heat the food up, but then you're cooking that aluminum foil around your food, which just doesn't make a lot of sense. So silverware, aluminum foil, pots and pans, all these different things. So a lot of it's in cooking, and a lot of it's in the kitchen. So if you just look in your kitchen and look at everything, aluminum foil, all these pots, pans, and all this kind of stuff, silverware, some of the silverware has aluminum foil, and most silverware actually originally was silver. That's why they called it silverware. Or someone that had a silver spoon in their mouth was actually a silver spoon. It meant that was a rich kid. So looking in your kitchen is probably the best place to start to remove aluminum from your home. And just using stone, there's bamboo silverware, there's, like I said, ceramic cookware. You don't have to buy canned food, you can get alternatives. As far as aluminum foil is concerned, that's kind of difficult because aluminum foil is very convenient, but you can use other alternatives and replacements for that instead. And there's just so many different things, like I said, as well as in the home, aspirin, vaccinations, and deodorant. So it's important to understand where aluminum is in your home and then step by step take actions to remove that from your home. There are ways to chelate heavy metals from the body and remove aluminum from the body as well. One of the best recommendations that I can make personally is to get apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is one of the best things you can have in your home as a natural home remedy. It's extremely cost effective. It's $7 for a bottle from Bragg's apple cider vinegar, and it's a heavy metal chelator. There is a compound in apple cider vinegar known as acetic acid that will chelate heavy metals from the body over time, and aluminum is one of them. So have apple cider vinegar in your home, use that. It's extremely beneficial and helpful in that way. And just avoid aluminum, because like I said, Alzheimer's, other neurodegenerative diseases are cumulative effects of having heavy metal toxicity in your body, whether it's aluminum, mercury, cadmium, nickel, whatever it may be. There's a lot of different heavy metals that you can have in excess in your body, and the more of those you have in your body, the worse it gets for your neurological health, for your brain, your nervous system. Metals can also suppress your nerves and your nervous system as well, because they kind of weigh on the body in that way, and they can just move to all different areas of the body. A lot of them may accumulate in the liver or in other organs as well, so they can affect different organs in the body as well. It depends, like I said, if you're putting deodorant on with aluminum in them, that's getting directly into your bloodstream. You're putting it on right here, your heart's right here. That's not a good thing. So change your deodorant, don't use aspirin, use natural alternatives instead. There's a lot of headache natural alternatives. I actually wrote an article on my blog talking about how to get rid of a headache in like 5 minutes or less. And there's a whole post on that, so go to healthywildandfree.com if you want to learn more about that. But basically just remove aluminum foil from your home and drink more water and use apple cider vinegar to start to chelate and detoxify heavy metals, including aluminum. And that's going to help you out a lot. One thing I've noticed that, and I forget where I heard this, but someone that I like to learn from in the health and wellness place, and I read a lot of different blogs and listen to a lot of interviews and watch a lot of videos, but someone that specializes kind of in health and working with clients and patients one-on-one, one of the things they said that really stuck with me was, if someone, if you've looked at nutritional deficiencies and you've looked at food and diet and all these other things and nutrition and all this stuff, and those things aren't working, it's either parasites or candida or some sort of infection or heavy metal toxicity that's causing your health issue. So if you have some sort of health issue that's recurring and you're eating healthy and doing all these things, it could very well be candida or a parasite or a parasitic infection, which could be parasitic worms or candida or fungus or bacterial overgrowth or things of that nature. Or it can be heavy metal toxicity ranging from aluminum to mercury to the list goes on and on for heavy metals. So it's something that a lot of us have accumulated over time based on the products we've used, whether we were raised that way or we just weren't aware of the cookware, the silverware, the pots, the pans, the aluminum foil, the whatever. But it's something that will accumulate in your body over time, and it's good to just have things in your diet that chelate heavy metals, like apple cider vinegar and other fruits and vegetables that chelate heavy metals and remove them from the body as well and expel them. So just something to think about. Avoid aluminum, stop using those products, and then just switch them out for alternatives. So I have an article below on my blog that links to alternative products that you can use for cookware, for deodorant, and all these different recommendations. So check out the article below, and I'll link some of that below as well. That's it for this video. Thanks a lot for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. Please like, favorite, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel below. The article is below, and as well as the Facebook page. If you aren't already following Healthy, Wild, and Free on Facebook, make sure to do so. There's daily posts, daily inspiration, daily positivity, daily nutrition, health, articles, videos, and all sorts of information there. So check that out below. Thanks a lot for your time. This is David Benjamin, once again from healthywildandfree.com. Make sure to live healthy, wild, and free, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and have a great day. Bye.